Hello everybody and welcome to another one of my video/streams. So this time this is going to be part 11 of making the simple game with Unity. In the last video I left off after I worked extensively on adding the cases for the different types of eggs and switching from the old levels based progression to a very simple high score and lives progression. So right now I think that I should be tackling a subject which I should just be working on getting more of the game mechanics done. Now I do have to go away for a split second because I just forgot to take care of some stuff, but I will be right back, so don't worry. Right, so I basically forgot to get myself some water because talking does pay its toll on my hydration levels. Getting back to it, I hope that the sound levels are okay because I did boost my microphone a bit. I found that I was sitting too close to the microphone last time in order for you guys to hear me properly, and it would record like some back noises that I didn't like. Not that this is a very good microphone, by the way, but you know, you get the gist of it. So let's get back into it. Are we? Yeah, of course I'm recording. Okay, so last time I told you what I did, and I was working on getting these switch cases for catching an egg, or for the different types of eggs that you would get, and I would need to work on the on the multiplier functionalities over here, besides just updating the graphical functionality over there. And I would say that we need to implement some sort of logic that deals with, right, so right off the bat there's not going to be a pause being triggered when the eggs needed reaches 0, which is not exactly what I wanted. I will go ahead and modify the eggs needed variable so that it starts from 5. So after you get 5 eggs, you get a bonus points multiplier, right? An extra point from that. So let's go ahead and see how we are going to do just that. So when this happens, we need the cm.multiplier to get one more, correct? And then how should this work? Because this should be multiplying on a regular basis, and it should be getting harder and harder for you to get an additional multiplier. And so one way would be to make a special function that just deals with this. Another way would be to just use this script to make a function within it and have a public int multiplier level that just starts with level 1, and we'll use this one so that we can establish how many eggs you'll need next in order to get an additional multiplier point, right? Yeah, I think that should work. So let's go ahead and make a function over here in the current multiplier class, and we'll make it give us an int back because it needs to tell us back how many eggs you need for the next level, right? Correct. That should be correct actually. Maybe we'll have to. I think we'll have to. And this is going to be called add multiplier, and it doesn't get anything. It just adds 1 point to the multiplier. We're not going to make it any more complicated. There's not going to be more. No, actually it is going to be more complicated because I said that the eggs, yeah, you can get eggs that increase your multiplier by a certain margin, right? So int amount, and we'll say multiplier gets itself plus the amount, and we'll have a switch case, switch multiplier level, and what we also need to do before is increase the multiplier level as well. Actually, no, we'll switch it by the multiplier. Yeah, exactly. Actually, we don't need a multiplier level. It's really not necessary. Do we actually use the egg frequency anywhere? We don't. So we might actually not need this as well, or either, better said. Yeah, we'll see. I'll leave it in there for now. Right, so we'll switch the multiplier and we'll make can you make switch case? No, that's okay. So we'll have a multiplier for it's going to have to be limited, right? And I'm going to go for 20. So it's going to go from 1 to 20. That's you won't be able to get more than 20 points for one egg at the same time, right? Yeah, that should be enough, I'm pretty sure. So I'll just make it a switch case, and I'll have all of the cases beginning with 1 all the way up to 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. And let's go ahead and put them in. I know that this looks horrible, maybe to some of you coding experts out there, but it is the fastest way to get this done, and I won't have to use overly complicated mathematics to solve this issue. If I had like a multiplier that goes up to maybe 100 or 200 or unlimited amount, then yes, I would probably use a proper mathematical equation to do just that. Was that my... what was that? Oh, it is Steam. Steam, you are no longer needed. Exit, exit, exit. That's it. Okay. Good. So what happens if the multiplier is 1, which actually basically can't happen? Yeah, this can't happen because it always starts at 1 and it goes up to 2. So if it's 2, then it returns 7 eggs, and if it's 3, it will return 10 eggs, and so on and so forth. So it's going to go to 15 eggs, 20 eggs. This might be a bit too much. I don't know. 25 eggs. So what this means is that you'll need this much. I know that the breaks afterwards are dumb, but you know, what can I do? Let's go for, actually let's go for, yeah, let's keep it at 25 because it's already quite hard. So let's go to 30. Then this is totally random, by the way. I didn't actually bother but this is a bit too much, isn't it? Yeah, no, this is quite the amount. So let's go ahead and slim this down by just, you know, increasing it by 1. Let's go to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and now we can start having more. So we can add, like, this will need 15, then this will need 17, and then this will need 19. Oops. And then we'll have 21, and then we'll have 23, and then we'll start having even more. It's going to be 26, 29, 32, and the last two are going to be a lot more, so it's going to be 36, and then we'll have 41, and finally we'll have 47. So you will need to gather, actually there is no 20. Right, there is no case 20 because when you get to 20 that's the maximum, and you know. Let's put an if here. If current multiplier equals 20, then return what should I put? 999? Yeah. Just return 9999. Right? So you won't need to actually increase it anymore if it's already up there. Okay. Another thing that we have to do is if multiplier is bigger than 20, which can happen, so you get a special what's it called, egg. You get a special egg that gives you, you're at multiplier 15 and you get the special egg that gives you 10 more multiplier points. Then you will probably not want to go over 20 multiplier. I mean, I won't allow you to go over, and in that case it's going to do two things. One, it is going to set the multiplier to 20 because that's the max that you can have, and then second, it's going to return 99999. That was 5 times 9, 4 times 9. Fun enough, we'll see. Okay, so switch case 20, we don't need it. Yeah, let's see if the add multiplier function can actually be called. So let's go ahead and if x needed is 0, then you need to reset the x needed. X needed gets cm dot add multiplier of 1. right? Because you only add 1 to the multiplier in that case. Let's go ahead and see if this works. Okay, we know about that issue, small issue. I should at one point maybe probably link these buttons to actual keyboard keys on my keyboard. That would make this whole thing a lot faster, I would imagine, maybe. Okay, there we go. It actually is a bit hard and tedious to catch all of these eggs like this, especially because I would need to move quite fast. Okay, so I'm at multiplier 3, but it's not updating the multiplier. Damn it, I forgot about this. Ah, crap. Okay, and it's not resetting the multiplier because I forgot to do that. I will, however, do this. That's at multiplier 4. It's still at multiplier 4. 5. Now it's at multiplier 5. Okay, so that's good. Okay. Yep. There we go. I think it's at 7 right now. It's at 6 actually. And this is actually quite fun. I mean, I'd enjoy it a lot more if it wasn't on this crappy. Okay. Okay. How am I doing, guys? Alright. So it's increasing by 8. Yep, there we go. And this is before having special eggs that give you extra points or, you know, stuff along those lines. This is actually not a bad game. But the egg spawning isn't increasing either, so we need to work on that one as well. Okay. I think it's time to let it be. The score was almost the same, but obviously not. Right, so time for me to showcase the multiplier as well when that happens. Where are we? No, not there. Here. Okay. So we need to add the multiplier, and afterwards we will need to cm dot show update multiplier. Okay. Also, we'll need to start making the eggs fall a bit up, actually not fall faster. Well, maybe in time that would also be nice, that the speed with which eggs fall gets increased, which I think is this even getting used at this point? Can I search the whole project with is there like a search for everything? Oh, it is, there is. Right, so at this point no, velocity isn't being used by anything in contact to anything. Spawn point, velocity, acceleration, that probably isn't used either. Yeah, no, that's just from the comment. The egg type should be used, and it is used. Okay, I think I'd imagine. So it is used in the game script, and also in the. That is something else. So this one is being used in the, but it's not being set. So that's what I would actually have to make sure to do. Okay, so I forgot. I'll have to add the further options that I've given here. So this is the multiplier eggs for 7. Let's go ahead and put those in as well. 7. Oh, it actually had. This is 8. Increases it by 3 points. And this is 9. Increases it by 10 multiplier points, which is obviously great. Is that accurate? Yes, it is. And then we'll have 10, 11, 12. It decreases by the same amount. Okay. And this is going to be 10. This is going to be by 3, and it's going to be 11. And now we'll have number 12, which is a real stinker, so to say. Alright. So next up, oh yeah, let me just check if the multiplier gets outdated, because that's pretty important as well. Yep, there we go. Looks to be fine. Mm-hmm. Oh, I just got an idea for a cool egg, like a low gravity egg. You know, an egg that modifies the gravity so that they fall slower. Yeah, that would be really nice to have. Let me put that in. Yeah, it looks to be working just fine. Okay, so let's just stop right now. Let's put the idea in for the low gravity egg. Why do I keep pushing that? The icons do look the same. Maybe I should just close the Discord. Okay, so let's make case 12, which is case 13. Sorry, which is going to be low gravity egg makes eggs for twice as fast. No, not twice as fast. I mean to say twice as slow at half speed. Right? So this is going to be something that I'll have to look, not have, half. I'll have to look into Unity and how to modify that. Let's put that in the egg script as well as an option. Low gravity egg. And we'll have to obviously put a timer in, and you know, like just give you 30 seconds, but 30 seconds is maybe too much. Like 5, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, we'll see. I'll see how I do that. I'll just focus on getting the base game done at first. Okay. What else? What else? Oh, and a super mode. But the super mode should be when should the super mode come into play? Because there should always be a super mode when a lot more eggs are being how do you call it? are being spawned, and they also fall faster, so you increase the gravity. But if they fall on the ground, then nothing happens. So that's just like from time to time there should be a super mode, and I'm thinking I should put the super mode when what? Where should I put the super mode in? Let's say something like when you get 1,000 points. Like every 1,000 points you get the super mode. But that shouldn't be an egg that you catch, right? Or should it? I think that it should be. Let's go ahead and put super, all caps, super mode egg. Spawn rates and gravity double. No penalty from dropping eggs. And yes, this should be an egg. It should be an egg. Like at some point you should be, you know, prioritizing getting the super mode egg. And yeah. Let's put this one in as well. Call case 14 and break and super mode egg grants double gravity and spawn rate, no drop penalty. And this is obviously as well, or should be limited in time so that you can't abuse it for too long. Right. Okay, let's go ahead and just make the rest of the game, kind of. Now what I would like to do actually is go to the prefab, go to the egg, and oh, this is a if I change the color, does it change automatically as well? Let's see if I do that. Are the eggs going to be blue? I don't think so. Yes, they will. That's really cool, because now I can debug the spawning of my eggs. So let's go ahead and get back to white for the default egg, and we'll put the color to some random colors for everybody else, for the other types of eggs, right? Okay. This should also provide you points, right? So like every egg that you catch, besides doing what it does special, should also provide you with points. Also, actually, yeah, actually I should set, I was just thinking right now, that I should set something, another variable, like I wanted like the multiplier level, or just the egg frequency. But the egg frequency isn't being used either way at this point in time, right? Right. Okay, another thing that I need to do is add the, what's it called? Add the function that removes the multiplier. So we'll say public int I just got an idea to restructure my my code. Add multiplier is not a good name. I should call it add to multiplier or increase multiplier. Increase multiplier is a much better name, and we'll use it here, right? And the next function is going to be decrease multiplier by int amount. And this whole switch case, I'll move it off to another function, to a separate function, because this just looks horrible, and I will need it in the decrease multiplier as well. So let's just put int return eggs, no, return yeah, return eggs, whatever, that's okay. And I will give it the nothing actually, and I'll put the switch case in, and I'll also need case 1 break, no, not break, return 5 eggs in that case, and default is going to be 999 because that's for level 20, so there's no need to put in case 19. It's just going to go to default anyway, which is going to mean 999 as it should. And what I'll do is I'll say return eggs. That makes sense, right? And I'll call that at the end. And before I call that, I will do this. If multiplier is equal to 1, then return 5 anyway, right? There's no need to call the other function, just like I did above. And then I'll go multiplier get minus amount, and I'll check if the multiplier is smaller than 1, and in that case I will reset the multiplier to 1, just like I did above with 20 when it's overshot, and I will return 5. Does that make sense? Because it can go under 1, right? If you guys know what I mean. Okay, so now we need to call the decrease multiplier function when an egg hits the ground. Let's see. This is continue, this is pause, this is update. If your decrease, yeah, okay, so this should be it. Whoa, what is this? Okay, so what I'll do is I will copy these two. Now, normally there are some hardcore games that just decrease your multiplier completely to the beginning level of 1 when you make a mistake. So it's like the combo breakers, right? So if you're in a fighter game and you're doing a combo, if you get hit in the middle of the combo, then your combo gets interrupted and that's it. The multiplier goes back to 0, to 1, better said, and nothing actually happens. And I actually like that. It's maybe a bit more it's a harder game, but it's actually more interesting that way, so you have to focus on not making a mistake. So that is actually what I will do. I will decrease the multiplier. I will decrease the multiplier by 20, which means that it will go to either 0 or under 1. Actually, let me do it by 19 so that I don't have to. Yeah, I'll just do it by 19. So in the event that you drop an egg, then your multiplier goes back to 1, and you have to start all over again with the amount of eggs needed for you to increase the multiplier. And in the event of catching one of those eggs that takes away your multiplier, like over here, I will decrease the multiplier, in this case by 1, decrease by 1. In this case I will decrease it by 3 points. And in the last case, which is the same as catching a bad egg, I'll decrease it back to 1 by 19. Now the problem is with decreasing the multiplier is that you generally don't want to catch those eggs, right? And it shouldn't take 1 life away from you if you catch a bad egg. I mean, you want the player to be satisfied with playing the game. So what I will do, now these eggs don't provide score. No, they should provide score as well. Actually, all of the eggs should provide score, even the bad ones. I mean, you decrease your multiplier after you get the score for it, but you know, you should still get a point for it. So any egg that you catch does provide score, but you know, some of them you shouldn't actually catch. So let's go ahead and put the same logic as here. And you don't need to check if eggs needed is equal to 0 when you decrease or increase the multiplier, because it gets automatically reset, right? So let's just put this here. Okay, let's define points. Oh, sorry. Let's define points in the function above. And we won't redefine it every time, because it only goes in one case anyway, so that would be pointless for us to do. So you get the points for that. They get added to your points, you update, and then oh, this is needed. Eggs needed. It doesn't matter because you decrease, and when you decrease then you reset it anyway. So I'm guessing this is what I need for these cases as well. Okay, and then let's go ahead and test this. Okay, so I'll just test, you know, having the eggs break on the floor. Okay, kind of a rough start. There we go, we've got 2. Yep, it goes back. Okay. And then you need another 5, right? Yep. Then it goes right back up. Okay. Looks legit. And then it goes back up to 3. And when it goes back down, bam, it's back up to 1. Back down to 1. Okay, sounds legit, looks legit. I actually enjoy playing this game right now. Let's get it up to 4. Multiplier. Progression is a bit slow in the multipliers, right? It goes back down to 1 and you lose, and there's your high score. Not that one. Alright. Good, so what do we need to do now? So this is, I think, the egg spawn break, which is set whenever an egg actually spawns, right? Yes. If I am not mistaken, and I hope that I'm not, what does floor decrease cache means? And what is the floor? The floor is the floor script, and it is the object floor. Let's go into the floor script, shall we? Because I don't know what that does. Okay. Right, so I'm going to have to rethink this because this won't work. You generally want to have the egg splatter in the same positions where the eggs actually fell, right? Okay, just 1 second, I'll be right back. So, back everybody, looks like. Okay, so this is probably not going to work. I already have my ignore floor bool, which is quite nice. I don't know that I'm using it. Let's search for floor. No, I am not actually using it. Okay. Let's get back to seeing what does decrease cache actually does. And why was I using it? I think that this floor over here automatically calls a function. Or how does this work actually? I completely forgot how I solved it back when I did. So that's why I'm in a bit of a pickle. Actually not pickle, but why does this work? If decrease cache. Who sets decrease cache to anything? Let me go ahead and search for this. Game script floor script, game script if game script floor dot decrease cache gets false. That's afterwards. But who sets it to true? That's my this floor script 14. Ah, okay, so it's the on the collision. All right, so it's on the collision. Okay. Right, so on the collision, I'll have to introduce a couple of do I? Yes. Well, first off, if ignore floor, if not ignore floor, right? Because when we are ignoring the floor, then that means that it doesn't matter how many eggs splatter down and nothing will happen, right? That's the super mode that I was talking about earlier. Oh, the problem is no, that's not how it's going to work. What? Okay. So we need to put the eggs on self-destruct. Sorry about that. We need to put the eggs on self-destruct, obviously, but we need to check if we're going to decrease the cache, which is going to be if ignore floor. If not ignore floor, then decrease the cache. But if you do ignore the floor, then you don't decrease the cache, right? So if you don't decrease the cache over here, if you don't set that to true, then nothing happens over here. You don't lose lives, you don't lose the multiplier, you know, nothing along those lines. And then I call update lives and pause if update lives gives me a positive, which means that there are no more lives for you to use. Good. Did I save that? I think that I did. Okay, do we have more than one use case for the collision over here? Maybe we do. Let me see, let me think. Because I said that you would get a point for every egg that you collect, which is something different. It's the collision for the catcher, it's not for the floor. What else did I say, or did I mean? Anyway, let's just get back to it. Doesn't matter right now. Oh, we do have a time scale. Oh, that's pretty neat actually. So we can set the time scale to 0.5 when you get the special egg. Oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and implement the script that updates when it creates the egg, it creates it with a different color. And set this public int egg color, which is later going to translate to a sprite, the egg sprite that we are using, because obviously we'll have different sprites for different eggs. Egg color is going to be 0. Actually, what is this? This is 255, right? If I'm not mistaken. Come on. Yeah, this is FFFFF. How many? 6 of them? I think so. So it's not an int, it's how do I do this? Unity define color code color. Right, but what is the what can I use? Each color component is a floating point value of a range of from 0 to 1. How can I? Oh, so I have to define a color. Okay, let's do this, just that. It's going to be a public of type color egg color. It's going to get a new color of 5555 555 555. That should be correct, right? I know that I'll have to use the... Oh, actually no, it's not correct. Oh, it's a float. It's a float, so it's going to be 1. 1f, 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 I presume. And the start private void start function is actually going to set that color. That's how we put the start in, right? Oh, void start. I don't even have to say private. And I will have to get the color, just like I get the text. How do I get the text? Maybe in current lives. Oh, that's how I get it. This dot game component, game object get component. Okay, let's go over in the egg and say this dot game object dot get component. No, it's not the color. It's the image. Image. Type image, and then dot color. And then we'll set that to egg color. Should that work? That's not gonna work. The name image does not exist in the current context. Oh, so this does work. This is correct. It sets it right. But how do I get the image of an object? It's a big C anyway. But the type namespace image could not be found. Ah, I'm probably missing that. Unity engine.ui. Possibly. Using Unity engine. No, Unity engine.ui. And let's see. Color? No, it's just color. Dot set. No, there's no dot. Let's see if this will work. So does this compile right now? Okay, it seems to compile. Does it work? It works. Let's go ahead and put another image. You know what? I'll just go for whatever. 0.5. 0.5. Come on. 0.5. And that should do the trick. I could set it from here. I'm such a dumbass. No, that doesn't seem to work. What do you have here? Get linear max RGB. So A, B, G, R. Fuck. Is this the correct one? Canvas, depth fill, game object, get component, get type, is active, blah blah blah. This should be it, right? I'm guessing it should be it. Sprite, tag, type, transform. Yeah, color should be it. Okay. Let me see. Change image color. Unity change image color. How to change the color from the image for your script. Oh. Okay, component. Let's type image of color. Does it have to be color 32? It might. Okay, so let's go ahead and try color 32 then. Jesus, why does this not work? Seriously? Copy paste doesn't work? No, it doesn't. Fuck that. Let's go ahead and use color 32 and we'll put 255 A is probably an yeah, 0 and 1 2 1 2 2 and 100. Okay, let's see if this would work. Okay, we have another color. Yep, but the alpha is fucked up. Oh, I need to put it to 255 as well. Okay, so you need 255 as well. All right. Okay, so in order to make this not a problem, I'll put it to 255, which is white for every egg, and in the moment that it spawns, let's see who spawns the eggs. Egg, spawned eggs. Okay, that's the spawned eggs list, but I need a new egg. New egg. Here we go. Okay. So we'll need to establish how the eggs spawn. And this will require us to have a random generator, obviously. We should also make a function that tells us based on the multiplier. And okay, let's finish that because I went on a different path earlier, and I should get back to that. So the problem was that when the multiplier increases, we should also have an increase in how fast the eggs spawn, right? And at some point, also the gravity or the time scale should increase as well. I should just use. I'm thinking that I'll just use the time scale because it's just going to be a lot better that way. So let's just go ahead and say afterwards over here we'll make a function call which is called what is it called? This shouldn't be over here, right? Actually, it should be over here because the main way that this works is by decreasing the egg spawn rate, right? So after some seconds pass, which is like 4 seconds, does it wait 4 seconds before spawning a new egg? Let me show you. Let me see. Come on, compile everything. That's not the egg color, by the way. 1 2 3 4. Yep, but that's not the egg color. What happened to you? What the actual hell, dude? Didn't I save this? I didn't save this, and I probably didn't save the egg script either. Dude. Anyway, yeah, it's 4 seconds. So what I'll want to do, let me see if this works actually, because I like the fact that I can modify the time scale whenever I want to. Wait, it's 3 times time scale 1, which is in the start function. Yes, that's cool. Let me put time scale 1.1 whenever the multiplier increases. Time dot time scale gets 1.1. Is that correct? Actually, let me make sure that this works. Let's just put 2 in, and I might just work off the time scale and not bother with everything else. Although that's a bit cheap, and it won't feel very nice, I presume. Anyway, I am coming up on 1 hour, or if not, I am already on 1 hour. 4, 3, 4. Oh, come on! But it did actually. Yeah. Okay. So it does work. So I could actually use the time scale just as well as the spawn rate, and I probably will do just that. But this is going to come in the next episode, or maybe can I finish this off right now? Yeah, let's just make the function call, which is going to be called, what will it be called? No, it shouldn't be called over here, right? No. And it's not going to be 240, but it's going to be current spawn rate. Oh, let me break that up. Nice. Current spawn rate. Focus. And the current spawn rate is going to be a local variable integer. Current spawn rate is going to be 240 at the basis. And whenever you increase the multiplier, the current spawn rate either goes down, or the time increases, or both, something along those lines. So this should make for a much faster game experience as you go on and catch more eggs. Right, and what I want to do right now, so whenever this happens, I want to call a function which is called afterwards. This function is going to be called adjust difficulty. And it's going to be working based off of cm.current multiplier. So we'll have to define current multiplier in here. Actually, that's just dumb. Why am I doing this? I don't need a second one. Just the multiplier. Yeah, just based on the multiplier. And just difficulty is going to be all the way at the end over here. It's going to be a void adjust difficulty. It gets the int multiplier. Actually, I don't even have to pass this one because it's all global and we have access to it. So yeah, pro programming tip: don't pass needless arguments around because this is a global variable. And yeah, adjust difficulty, and this does the following. should be a switch case. Yeah, it should be a switch case from 1 to 20. But I'm not sure that. Right, so I need to make the game harder because I just imagine somebody or some people abusing the game by, you know, letting themselves go back to one multiplier from time to time just to make things be a lot slower, and they'd just be prolonging their achievement in a, how should I say, um, you know, not it wouldn't feel right for people to abuse the system where you can just go back to the beginning difficulty just because you lost one egg, and then you'd have like special eggs that give you lives back and all of that jazz on the screen, right? So that shouldn't be possible. And in that sense, I'm actually going to be placing a global counter for how many eggs you've caught in the match, and whenever the difficulty gets reset back to a lower level, it actually, because of, you know, going to a lower multiplier, or to multiplier 1, then it should be something like, okay, you went back to multiplier 1 again, but you've already collected 500 eggs, or I don't know, 1000 eggs, which means that you shouldn't be able to go back much more. Does that make sense, what I was just talking about right now? Hopefully it does. So what I'll do, right, so first off, I just need the I'll need the switch case. There's no way that I can't, that I should have this. Do I need the switch case? I think I do. It's very ugly, but I wouldn't want to do it mathematically. Or, you know what? No, I won't. No, I'll do it with ifs, because it's a bit preposterous to have 20 levels of difficulty, right? So there should be like 4, 5, maybe 6 total levels of difficulty, but not that many, I would say, right? Right, I would say definitely not that many. So I'll do it like this: if cm dot multiplier is smaller than 5, no, not 5, 6. If it's smaller than 6, then we have this case. Else, if cm dot multiplier is smaller than, I'm guessing 11, yeah, then we have this other case. Else, if cm dot multiplier is smaller than 4 levels of difficulty. No, that's not enough. Let's make it 5. So let's go for every 4 levels, every 4 multiplier levels, you get an increase in difficulty. So you go from 1 to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 12. Multiplier 9 to 12, 13 to 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, that's 17. Okay, and then else, that's level, actually, yeah, no, that should be enough. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 levels of difficulty. So this is going to be how difficult the game is. It's going to have 5 speeds, so to say. But at some point, because of having more eggs collected, even if you go back to the multiplier, you'll have to you still have to, you know, play a bit faster, because, you know, that's how it should be. I mean, the game should reward skill and dedication. And in order for that to happen, I'll have a global variable which is called int total eggs caught. This is going to start at 0, obviously. This is going to be reset to 0 when the game starts again. And total eggs caught, I hope I wrote that correctly, and total eggs caught is going to always increase whenever you catch an egg. Egg caught plus plus. Okay, and in the multiplier, when the difficulty increases, you get, what do you get? You get egg spawn rate. Egg spawn break is going to be lower, so it starts at 240, which is 4 seconds between each egg. Given that the game doesn't lag, because the game is actually quite dependent on the frame rate of 60 FPS, and I think that I did limit it to 60 FPS. I hope. I don't even see where can I see the FPS? I know that you could. Gizmos? No, not gizmos. No. Stats. Oh. So it actually goes much faster than that. But I'm guessing that the time scale is... Wait, what will the time scale be actually? I don't even know. Yeah, anyway. I don't know how that will work, but it doesn't matter. Let's just go ahead and say the egg spawn rate, so it's going to be 240, and we'll go by a quarter of a second, no, half a second, no, a quarter of a second is good. So we'll go to 220 for the first, no, this is 240. This is 240 standard, and time scale 1. So this is the standard easy mode, right? This is the second one, which is going to be 220 spawn rate, and time scale is going to be, if I modify this by 10%, then that's going to be another 10% faster. But I also want the eggs to fall faster as well, not just spawn a bit faster. Actually, you know what? I'll go for 230 over here, and an increase by 10% in speed over here. Okay, and then we'll have 220 and an increase of another 10% to 1.2. Then we'll have 210 and 1.3 time scale. So 1.3, that's 1/3 faster. So I don't even know. I mean, the eggs are going to be spawning even faster as they are. So the egg spawn rate increases much faster as the gravity increases. And then we'll have 200 and 1.4. Okay. Let's see if that works. Whoa. 215. What? Wait, How big can the timescale be? It's a float. Oh, but it's from... okay, okay, okay. So that's a bit of a problem. That's a bit of a problem. Well, actually, it isn't. No, it's not a problem. I'll just slow down the whole game. I'll go for 0.8. 0.8 as the standard speed. Let me see. So 0.8 is going to be the standard speed. And then we'll have 0.85. 0.8, 0.9, 0.95, and 1. Oh, come on, dude. Add suffix. Okay, let's just add it then. Actually, I think that I could have gone over... 1. Oh, come on. 56. Here we are. Here we go. I probably could have added speeds of over 1, but it was hard enough anyway. So this is a game for kids, or mainly for kids anyway. So let's not make fun of them. This is quite slow actually. This is actually quite slow. And we'll see. No! Oh crap. This is not an easy game. It was there. Damn it. I couldn't even get past the first difficulty. I mean, so that's not right. Wait, the spawning rates are fucked up. Dude, these are too many eggs. Come on. I'm not even going to make it past the hardest. Jesus. This is a hard game. But there's something wrong with the egg spawn rates because it's 240 at the beginning. And then it goes oh, I know what the problem is. It's not limited to 60 FPS, so I need to limit the updates of the game to 60 FPS, and then it's going to be okay. Right, but this should do it for today because I have ranted more than enough. Let me add a to-do over here. Game updates too fast, and that should be it for today. There should be an arrow that shows up over here. Great. Thank you to everybody for watching and listening. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed my these 2 videos that I've made today, and if you do like them, just hit the subscribe and the like button, and or ask questions, comment, whatever you guys feel like, and hopefully I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.